أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
الذين كفروا وصدوا عن سبيل الله أضل أعمالهم.
Those who disbelieve and avert people from the way of Allah, He will waste their deeds.
الذين كفروا وصدوا عن سبيل الله أضل أعمالهم. Those who disbelieved and they bar others also, prevent others also from the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will render all their deeds fruitless.
والذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وآمنوا بما نزل على محمد وهو الحق من ربهم كفر عنهم سيئاتهم وأصلح بالهم.
And those who believe and do righteous deeds and believe in what has been sent down upon Muhammad, and it is the truth from their Lord, He will remove from them their misdeeds and amend their condition.
وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. On the contrary, those who came to believe and they did good deeds, righteous deeds, وَآمَنُوا بِمَا نُزِّلَ عَلَى مُحَمَّدٍ, and they came to believe on what was sent down on Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَهُوَ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ, and that is the truth from their Lord, كَفَّرَ عَنْهُمْ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ. He will expiate their sins, وَأَصْلَحَ بَالَهُمْ, and He will set right their condition.
ذلك بأن الذين كفروا اتبعوا الباطل وأن الذين آمنوا اتبعوا الحق من ربهم كذلك يضرب الله للناس أمثالهم.
That is because those who disbelieve follow falsehood, and those who believe follow the truth from their Lord. Thus does Allah present to the people their comparisons.
ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا اتَّبَعُوا الْبَاطِلَ. This is because those who disbelieved, they followed falsehood. وَأَنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اتَّبَعُوا الْحَقَّ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ. And on the contrary, those who have come to believe, they have followed the truth from their Lord. كَذَلِكَ يَضْرِبُ اللَّهُ لِلنَّاسِ أَمْثَالَهُمْ. In this way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strikes for people their similitudes.
إذا لقيتم الذين كفروا فضرب الرقاب حتى إذا أثخنتموهم فشدوا الوثاق فإما منا بعد وإما فداء حتى تضع الحرب أوزارها ذلك ولو يشاء الله لانتصر منهم ولكن ليبلو بعضكم ببعض والذين قتلوا في سبيل الله فلن يضل أعمالهم.
So when you meet those who disbelieve in battle, strike their necks until, when you have inflicted slaughter upon them, then secure their bonds, and either confer favor afterwards, or ransom them until the war lays down its burdens. That is the command. And if Allah had willed, He could have taken vengeance upon them Himself, but He ordered armed struggle to test some of you by means of others. And those who are killed in the cause of Allah, never will He waste their deeds.
فَإِذَا لَقِيتُمُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. This ayah number 4 is one of the difficult ayat of the Quran. But at the same time, one of the most important ayat of the Quran. In this one ayah, there is a full law for this new phase of the struggle of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, armed conflict. Before that, no battle, no fighting had actually happened. Although 8 expeditions before Badr, in 4 of them Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam himself participated. They are called Ghazawat. And 4 in which he didn't go, he sent the people. They are called Saraya. But actual fighting didn't take place. This was the first occasion. And for that now this law is being given. فَإِذَا لَقِيتُمُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, O Muslims, when you meet those who have disbelieved in battle, فَضَرْبَ الرِّقَابِ, so smite their necks, kill them. حَتَّى إِذَا أَسْخَنْتُمُوهُمْ, until when you have routed them completely. فَشُدُّ الْوَثَاقِ, then tie them fast as slaves or prisoners. فَإِمَّا مَنًّا بَعْدُ وَإِمَّا فِدَاءً, later on, any of the two ways can be taken. When the war, حَتَّى تَضَعَ الْحَرْبُ أَوْزَارَهَا, when the war lays down its burdens, it is finished, finally, then either you set them free by grace or by ransom. وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَانْتَصَرَ مِنْهُمْ, had Allah wished, He could have avenged himself without giving you any trouble. وَلَكِنْ لِيَبْلُوَ بَعْضَكُمْ بِبَعْضٍ, but it is His rule, it's His practice. He tries some of you by some others. وَالَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ فَلَنْ يُضِلَّ أَعْمَالَهُمْ, as for those who are killed in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will not let their good deeds go in vain. Now what is the law given here? If there is a fighting, a war, first of all, you spend all your energies in killing them. Now, if you have the victory and you have some prisoners, you have to see first whether the war has come to an end or it is only one battle in which we are successful. These two things are different. Might be you won one battle, but the war is going on. In this condition, if you set free the prisoners, that is aiding the kuffar, the disbelievers. They will come back again to fight against you. That option is only when you feel that the war is finished. They have no strength now to fight again. Then this option is there. Either you set them free by ransom, charging fidya, or by grace, okay, you can go. And this was the mistake which was committed after Badr. When 70 chiefs of Quraysh were killed, but another 70 were taken captives. Now there was a consultation. The Prophet consulted his companions, what we should do. The opinion of Hazrat Umar was, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, ashadduhum fi amrillahi Umar. He said, they should all be killed. And every one of us should kill with his own hands the one most closely related to him. But the opinion of Hazrat Abu Bakr was, no, set them free if they pay the fidya. And Prophet ﷺ himself, maybe his opinion was the same, maybe he has accepted the opinion of Abu Bakr, the decision was taken. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed his disagreement with this decision in Surah Al-Anfal in very severe words. Because only one battle you have won, not the war. It is just the beginning, it's not the end. So if you let them go, they will again come on you. And this is what happened. The very next year, an army 3,000 strong that came and invaded Medina. So these are the three stages. First of all, kill them as many as you can. Number two, if you have captives, if you think that the war is over, you can let them go, otherwise not, kill them. But when you think that the war is over, now the enemy has no heart to beat you, then you can either by ransom or by grace leave them.
سيهديهم ويصلح بالهم.
He will guide them and amend their condition.
سيهديهم ويصلح بالهم. الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله فلن يضل أعمالهم. As for those who will be killed in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will not let their deeds go waste. Soon He shall guide them and set aright their condition.
ويدخلهم الجنة عرفها لهم.
And admit them to paradise, which He has made known to them.
وَيُدْخِلُهُمُ الْجَنَّةَ عَرَّفَهَا لَهُمْ, and will admit them to the garden which He has made known to them.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن تنصروا الله ينصركم ويثبت أقدامكم.
O you who have believed, if you support Allah, He will support you and plant firmly your feet.
يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا إِن تَنصُرُوا اللَّهَ يَنصُرْكُمْ وَيُثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَكُمْ. Very important ayah. O Muslims, O those who claim to believe, if you help Allah, then Allah will help you. And He will make your feet firm. What do you mean by helping Allah? Allah is almighty, all-powerful. Does He need any help? No. You are being tested. And helping Allah means helping His religion, His deen, to make it supreme. أَنْ أَقِيمُوا الدِّينَ وَلَا تَتَفَرَّقُوا فِيهِ. Now, if you devote yourself for this mission, Allah will help you. Otherwise, there is no promise of Allah to help the Muslims. And this is the situation with the Muslims today. Allah is not helping them. Why should He help them? They have made friends with the enemies of Allah. They are faithful to the enemies of Allah. They themselves are the enemies of Allah. Their whole political, social, economic system is against Allah. Why should He help them? He didn't help the Arabs in 1967, nor did He help the Pakistanis in 1971. He is not going to help. In tansurullah yansur. It's a conditional promise. If you help Allah, so Allah will help you, and He will make your feet firm.
الذين كفروا فتعسا لهم وأضل أعمالهم.
But those who disbelieve, for them is misery, and He will waste their deeds.
وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فَتَعْسًا لَهُمْ وَأَضَلَّ أَعْمَالَهُم. As for those who disbelieve, so for them is destruction, and all their endeavors will go in vain.
ذلك بأنهم كرهوا ما أنزل الله فأحبط أعمالهم.
That is because they disliked what Allah revealed, so He rendered worthless their deeds.
ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ كَرِهُوا مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأَحْبَطَ أَعْمَالَهُم. This is because they hated what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has rendered all their deeds fruitless. They were serving Makkah and Hajis, but all these deeds are fruitless now. Because now they have committed the biggest crime of disbelieving and rejecting the revelations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
أفلم يسيروا في الأرض فينظروا كيف كان عاقبة الذين من قبلهم دمر الله عليهم وللكافرين أمثالها.
Have they not traveled through the land and seen how was the end of those before them? Allah destroyed everything over them, and for the disbelievers is something comparable.
أَفَلَمْ يَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَيَنْظُرُوا كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. So have they not traveled in the land and see what was the end of those people who were before them? دَبَّرَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ. Allah destroyed them. وَلِلْكَافِرِينَ أَمْثَالُهَا. And for these kuffar of your time, O Muhammad, the like of this is going to happen. They will also be destroyed.
ذلك بأن الله مولى الذين آمنوا وأن الكافرين لا مولى لهم.
That is because Allah is the protector of those who have believed, and because the disbelievers have no protector.
ذلك بأن الله مولى الذين آمنوا وأن الكافرين لا مولى لهم. This is because Allah is the protector of those who believe, and the people who disbelieve, they have no protector whatsoever.
إن الله يدخل الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار والذين كفروا يتمتعون ويأكلون كما تأكل الأنعام والنار مثوى لهم.
Indeed, Allah will admit those who have believed and done righteous deeds to gardens beneath which rivers flow. But those who disbelieve enjoy themselves and eat as grazing livestock eat, and the fire will be a residence for them.
إن الله يدخل الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. Verily Allah will admit those who came to believe and did good deeds, gardens تجري من تحتها الأنهار, underneath which rivers will be flowing. والذين كفروا, as for those who disbelieved, يتمتعون ويأكلون كما تأكل الأنعام, they will enjoy comforts and eat as cattle eat. وَالنَّارُ مَثْوًى لَهُمْ. In the end, the fire shall be their abode.
كأي من قرية هي أشد قوة من قريتك التي أخرجتك أهلكناهم فلا ناصر لهم.
And how many a city was stronger than your city Makkah, which drove you out? We destroyed them, and there was no helper for them.
وَكَأَيٍّ مِّن قَرْيَةٍ هِيَ أَشَدُّ قُوَّةً مِّن قَرْيَتِكَ الَّتِي أَخْرَجَتْكَ. And O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, there have been so many townships who were more powerful than the town which had forced you to flee or leave. This Quraysh forced Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to leave Makkah. They have turned you out from Makkah. They have decided to kill you. That was why you left Makkah. But there have been much stronger townships, much bigger townships, which we destroyed. أهلكناهم. We destroyed them all. فلا ناصر لهم. And there was no helper for them.
فمن كان على بينة من ربه كمن زين له سوء عمله واتبعوا أهواءهم.
So is he who is on clear evidence from his Lord, like him to whom the evil of his work has been made attractive, and they follow their own desires?
أفمن كان على بينة من ربه كمن زين له سوء عمله. That person who is on a clear insight from his Lord, بينة من ربه, is he like those to whom their evil deeds have been made beautiful by Satans? وَاتَّبَعُوا أَهْوَاءَهُمْ, and they are following their lusts and desires, their caprices.
مثل الجنة التي وعد المتقون فيها أنهار من ماء غير آسن وأنهار من لبن لم يتغير طعمه وأنهار من خمر لذة للشاربين وأنهار من عسل مصفى ولهم فيها من كل الثمرات ومغفرة من ربهم كمن هو خالد في النار وسقوا ماء حميما فقطع أمعاءهم.
Is the description of paradise, which the righteous are promised, wherein are rivers of water unaltered, rivers of milk the taste of which never changes, rivers of wine delicious to those who drink, and rivers of purified honey, in which they will have from all kinds of fruits and forgiveness from their Lord, like that of those who abide eternally in the fire, and are given to drink scalding water that will sever their intestines?
Masalul Jannati allati wa'ida al-muttaqun, the similitude of the Jannah, the garden, which has been promised to the God-fearing people. Fiha anharum min ma'in ghayri asin. In them there are rivers of water, unstaling. Wa anharum min labanin lam yataghayyar ta'buh. And rivers of milk whereof the taste won't change. Wa anharum min khamarin lazzatin lisharibin. And rivers of wine, which will be very delicious to the drinkers. وَأَنْهَارٌ مِّنْ عَسَلٍ مُصَفَّى. And there will be the honey, purified honey. وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا مِنْ كُلِّ الثَّمَرَاتِ. And for them there will be in it all the fruit. وَمَغْفِرَةٌ مِّنْ رَبِّهِمْ. And on top of that, forgiveness from their Lord. كَمَنْ هُوَ خَالِدٌ. Are these people equal to those Kaman huwa Khalidun finnar, who has to live in fire forever? وَسُقُوا مَاءً حَمِيمًا. And they will be made to drink boiling water. فَقَطَّعَ مَعَاهُمْ, which will burn their intestines and cut them into pieces.
ومنهم من يستمع إليك حتى إذا خرجوا من عندك قالوا للذين أوتوا العلم ماذا قال آنفا أولئك الذين طبع الله على قلوبهم واتبعوا أهواءهم.
And among them, O Muhammad, are those who listen to you, until when they depart from you, they say to those who were given knowledge, "What has he said just now?" Those are the ones of whom Allah has sealed over their hearts, and who have followed their own desires.
وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَسْتَمِعُ إِلَيْكَ. Among these are some people who listen to you. Now this is the mention of the munafiqeen, who were perturbed, at this stage of the struggle of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now fighting, going to war, risking your lives. What is this going on? We should go on giving dawah, call people. Have to use this force. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَسْتَمِعُ إِلَيْكَ. From among them there are people who come and close to you and listen to you attentively. حَتَّى إِذَا خَرَجُوا مِنْ عِنْدِكَ. Until when they go out from your presence, قَالُوا لِلَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ. Now they ask those who were given the knowledge, مَاذَا قَالَ آنِفًا. What he has said now? Something new? He is changing his pattern. He was a da'i, and now he wants to raise this sword? مَاذَا قَالَ آنِفًا. What are you saying now? What has happened to you? أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ طَبَعَ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ. They are the people on whose hearts Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put a seal. وَاتَّبَعُوا أَهْوَاءَهُمْ. And they are following their lusts.
الذين اهتدوا زادهم هدى وآتاهم تقواهم.
And those who are guided, He increases them in guidance and gives them their righteousness.
وَالَّذِينَ اهْتَدَوْا زَادَهُمْ هُدًى. As for those who are rightly guided, Allah increases them in guidance. وَآتَاهُمْ تَقْوَاهُمْ, and grants them their piety.
هل ينظرون إلا الساعة أن تأتيهم بغتة فقد جاء أشراطها فأنى لهم إذا جاءتهم ذكراهم.
Then do they await, except that the hour should come upon them unexpectedly? But already there have come some of its indications. Then what good to them, when it has come, will be their remembrance?
فَهَلْ يَنظُرُونَ إِلَّا السَّاعَةَ. So what are they waiting for except the hour? أَن تَأْتِيَهُمْ بَغْتَةً, that it should come to them suddenly. فَقَدْ جَاءَ أَشْرَاطُهَا. Some of its signs have already arrived. Now this is important. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, which sign of the Sa'a of Qiyamah had arrived already? The advent of Muhammad ﷺ is the first sign. He says, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ أَنَا وَالسَّاعَةُ كَهَاتَيْنِ. I and this Sa'a, they are joined together. My coming, it heralds the coming of the hour. This is the first sign. فَأَنَّى لَهُمْ إِذَا جَاءَتْهُمْ ذِكْرَاهُمْ. So when it will come, it will arrive, then to what avail shall be the admonition for them?
فاعلم أنه لا إله إلا الله واستغفر لذنبك وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات والله يعلم متقلبكم ومثواكم.
So know, O Muhammad, that there is no deity except Allah, and ask forgiveness for your sin, and for the believing men and believing women. And Allah knows of your movement and your resting place.
Fa'alam, so know you, fully know it, annahu la ilaha illallah, that there is no God except Allah. Astaghfir li dhanbik, and ask the forgiveness of Allah regarding your discrepancies, shortcomings. Walil mu'mineen, also ask the forgiveness of Allah for the believers, wal mu'minat, men and women both. Wallahu ya'lamu mutaqallabakum wa maswaakum. Allah very well knows where you move about and where you take the rest.
وقولوا الذين آمنوا لولا نزلت سورة فإذا أنزلت سورة محكمة وذكر فيها القتال رأيت الذين في قلوبهم مرض ينظرون إليك نظر المغشي عليه من الموت فأولى لهم.
Those who believe say, why has a surah not been sent down? But when a precise surah is revealed and fighting is mentioned therein, you see those in whose hearts is hypocrisy looking at you with the look of one overcome by death, and more appropriate for them would have been.
وَيَقُولُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Now this proper, the munafiqeen, what they were saying. وَيَقُولُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and these people who claim that they believe, they say, لَوْلَا نُزِّلَتْ سُورَةٌ. Why not a surah was revealed? He is doing it on his own. Allah's command has not come. He seems to be, God forbid, he seems to be an ambitious person. So he is doing it. Rather we should say he is overdoing it. لَوْلَا نُزِّلَتْ سُورَةٌ فَإِذَا أُنزِلَتْ سُورَةٌ مُحْكَمَةٌ. That is why you must remember that this surah has also two names, Surah Muhammad and Surah Al-Qital. Surah Al-Qital is the second name of this surah. فَإِذَا أُنزِلَتْ سُورَةٌ مُحْكَمَةٌ, when a profound surah, decisive surah was revealed, وَذُكِرَ فِيهَا الْقِتَالِ, and now qital was mentioned in it. Going to war, going to battlefield. رَأَيْتَ الَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ, now you see those who have a disease in their hearts. Now this word is first nifaq. فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ فَزَادَهُمُ اللَّهُ مَرَضًا, the disease of nifaq. يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَيْكَ, they are looking towards you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. نَظَرَ الْمَغْشِيِّ عَلَيْهِ مِنَ الْمَوْتِ, with the look of one who faints due to death. When death is there and you are fainting, and at that time, the eyes, they rotate, they are this way or that way. This is their condition. Their argument finished. They said, up till now, no clear ayah has been revealed. But now it has come. So they are caught. فَأَوْلَى لَهُمْ, so woe to them.
طاعة وقول معروف فإذا عزم الأمر فلو صدقوا الله لكان خيرا لهم.
Obedience and good words. And when the matter of fighting was determined, if they had been true to Allah, it would have been better for them.
طاعة وقول معروف. Listen, obedience and straight words. This should be the attitude. When you say you are Muslims, now you have to obey. فَإِذَا عَزَمَ الْأَمْرُ, when the matter is decided, decision has been taken, فَلَوْ صَدَقُوا اللَّهَ لَكَانَ خَيْرًا لَهُمْ. Now if they were true to Allah, it would be better for them. They had made a covenant. We shall live for Allah, we shall die for Allah. Now they have to prove their truthfulness.
فهل عسيتم إن توليتم أن تفسدوا في الأرض وتقطعوا أرحامكم.
So would you perhaps, if you turned away, cause corruption on earth and sever your ties of relationship?
فَهَلْ عَسَيْتُمْ إِن تَوَلَّيْتُمْ. So there is a danger that this ayah has been translated in two ways. In tawallaytum, if you go on your backs, you don't go to the battlefield. فَهَلْ عَسَيْتُمْ إِن تَوَلَّيْتُمْ أَن تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, you will produce corruption and mischief in the land, and you will tuqatti'u arhamakum, and you will sever your ties of kinship. The other is that if you become the rulers of this land, tawalla, wali means the ruler, walaya and wilaya. I told you when we were reading Surah Al-Tawbah, Surah Al-Kahf, walaya is from wali, the authority. Wilaya is from wali, friendship and protection. If you become the rulers and you have not passed through these tests and tribulations, the purification of yourselves has not taken place, then every danger is there that you will create a mischief in the land and you will sever the ties of kinship. So you have to pass through these tests and trials and tribulations.
أولئك الذين لعنهم الله فأصمهم وأعمى أبصارهم.
Those who do so are the ones that Allah has cursed, so He deafened them and blinded their vision.
أولئك الذين لعنهم الله فأصمهم وأعمى أبصارهم. So they will be those whom Allah will curse and whom He will make deaf and blind their sights.
فلا يتدبرون القرآن أم على قلوب أقفالها.
Then do they not reflect upon the Quran, or are there locks upon their hearts?
أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. So, don't they ponder over Quran? Or upon their hearts there are locks. Locks are there so that nothing from Quran can enter. The door of the heart is locked.
إن الذين ارتدوا على أدبارهم من بعد ما تبين لهم الهدى الشيطان سول لهم وأملى لهم.
Indeed, those who reverted back to disbelief after guidance had become clear to them, Satan enticed them and prolonged hope for them.
إن الذين ارتدوا على أدبارهم من بعد ما تبين لهم الهدى الشيطان سول لهم وأملى لهم. Verily those who go back on their iman, irtaddu, they turn back from iman to kufr, irtidad, min ba'di ma tabayyana lahumul huda. After that, the guidance has become absolutely clear to them. Ash-shaytanu sawwara lahum. Actually, they are being enticed by Satan. Wa amla lahum. And he has given him false hopes.
ذلك بأنهم قالوا للذين كرهوا ما نزل الله سنطيعكم في بعض الأمر والله يعلم إسرارهم.
That is because they said to those who disliked what Allah sent down, "We will obey you in part of the matter," and Allah knows what they conceal.
ذلك بأنهم قالوا للذين كرهوا ما نزل الله سنطيعكم في بعض الأمر. This is because they said to those people who dislike what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said. These munafiqeen had ties with the Yahud, with the Jews. There were ties of friendship. So they used to go there and say, okay, although we have accepted the faith of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but don't think that we have severed all connections with you. سَنُطِيعُكُمْ فِي بَعْضِ الْأَمْرِ. We shall be obeying you also in some of the matters. We shall look to you also. What you say, maybe we obey. وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ إِسْرَارَهُمْ. And Allah knows very well their secrets. What they are going and saying to these Jews in secrecy.
فكيف إذا توفتهم الملائكة يضربون وجوههم وأدبارهم.
Then how will it be when the angels take them in death, striking their faces and their backs?
فكيف إذا توفتهم الملائكة يضربون وجوههم وأدبارهم. So what will happen to them? When the angels will be taking away their souls and smiting their faces and their backs.
ذلك بأنهم اتبعوا ما أسخط الله وكرهوا رضوانه فأحبط أعمالهم.
That is because they followed what angered Allah and disliked what earns His pleasure, so He rendered worthless their deeds.
ذلك بأنهم اتبعوا ما أسخط الله. This is because they have followed that thing which displeases Allah. وَكَرِهُ رِضْوَانَهُ. They have themselves, they have rejected the good pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَأَحْبَطَ أَعْمَالَهُمْ. So He had made all their good deeds fruitless. They said they believed in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They became Muslims. They have prayed behind Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, maybe for a year. But now, if this test which has come to them, if they fail, it means all their good deeds will go in vain.
أم حسب الذين في قلوبهم مرض أن لن يخرج الله أضغانهم.
Or do those in whose hearts is disease think that Allah would never expose their feelings of hatred?
أم حسب الذين في قلوبهم مرض أن لن يخرج الله أضغانهم. Do those people who have disease in their hearts, think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not bring to the light their hidden ill wills. What are their intentions hidden in their hearts against Muslims, against Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Allah will bring them to light, will expose them.
لو نشاء لأريناكهم فلعرفتهم بسيماهم ولتعرفنهم في لحن القول والله يعلم أعمالكم.
And if we willed, we could show them to you, and you would know them by their mark. But you will surely know them by the tone of their speech, and Allah knows your deeds.
وَلَوْ نَشَاءُ, and if we wish, لَأَرَيْنَاكَهُمْ, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we will show you them that these are the munafiqeen. فَلَعَرَفْتَهُمْ بِسِيمَاهُمْ, and then you will be able to recognize them with their marks. وَلَتَعْرِفَنَّهُمْ فِي لَحْنِ الْقَوْلِ, and even at this time, you can easily recognize them by the tone of their speech. The tone of a sincere person is different from a person who is wavering. Only the tone, how you talk, how you speak, is sufficient to reveal what is in your heart. Wallahu ya'lamu a'malakum, and Allah very well knows your deeds.
وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ حَتَّى نَعْلَمَ الْمُجَاهِدِينَ مِنكُمْ وَالصَّابِرِينَ وَنَبْلُوَ أَخْبَارَكُمْ.
And we will surely test you until we make evident those who strive among you for the cause of Allah and the patient, and we will test your affairs.
وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ, and we shall definitely test you, حَتَّى نَعْلَمَ الْمُجَاهِدِينَ مِنْكُمْ, until we come to know and we make absolutely clear who are those who strive for the cause of Allah, وَالصَّابِرِينَ, and those who are steadfast, who persevere, who take everything with patience. وَلْنَبْلُوَ أَخْبَارَكُمْ, and we have to test your tidings and your news. This subject has come so many times. In Surah Al-Baqarah, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ وَلَتُبْلَوُنَّ فِي أَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ, in Surah Al-Imran. Then we read in Surah Al-Ankabut, Alif Lam Mim, أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ يُتْرَكُوا أَن يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِن قَبْلِهِمْ فَلَا يَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلَا يَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. And then, in the same section, وَلَا يَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَا يَعْلَمَنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ. Allah will make it clear who are true believers and who are hypocrites.
إن الذين كفروا وصدوا عن سبيل الله وشاقوا الرسول من بعد ما تبين لهم الهدى لن يضروا الله شيئا وسيحبط أعمالهم.
Indeed, those who disbelieved and averted people from the path of Allah and opposed the Messenger after guidance had become clear to them, never will they harm Allah at all, and He will render worthless their deeds.
إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَصَدُّوا عَن سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, verily those who disbelieved and who wanted to stop others also from the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَشَاقُّوا الرَّسُولَ مِن بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الْهُدَى, and they opposed the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after that guidance had become to them absolutely evident and clear. لَن يَضُرُّوا اللَّهَ شَيْئًا, they are not going to harm Allah in any way. وَسَيُحْبِطُ أَعْمَالَهُمْ, and Allah will make all their deeds absolutely a failure.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول ولا تبطلوا أعمالكم.
O you who have believed, obey Allah and obey the Messenger, and do not invalidate your deeds.
Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasul. O you who believe, obey Allah and obey the Messenger. Whatever Messenger says, وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. Maybe it's not the wahi jali, maybe it is wahi khafi. Two types of wahi. Sometimes, clear wordings were revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and sometimes an idea was given to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not the wordings. So, but whatever he said, he was saying on the basis of the wahi. But these are two types of wahi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasul wa la tubtilu a'malakum. See, you don't make your deeds and your services that you have rendered up till now go in vain. Now at this stage, if you turn your back, it means up till this time, whatever you had done, it is multiplied by a big zero, and it becomes zero.
إن الذين كفروا وصدوا عن سبيل الله ثم ماتوا وهم كفار فلن يغفر الله لهم.
Indeed, those who disbelieved and averted people from the path of Allah and then died while they were disbelievers, never will Allah forgive them.
إن الذين كفروا وصدوا عن سبيل الله ثم ماتوا. Verily those who disbelieved and tried to avert people also from the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ثم ماتوا وهم كفار, and then they died in the condition of kufr. They died as disbelievers. فَلَنْ يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَهُمْ. Allah is never going to forgive them.
فلا تهنوا وتدعوا إلى السلم وأنتم الأعلون والله معكم ولن يتركم أعمالكم.
So do not weaken and call for peace while you are superior, and Allah is with you and will never deprive you of the reward of your deeds.
فَلَا تَهِنُوا. So, O believers, don't be weak. وَتَدْعُوا إِلَى السَّلْمِ. And don't call for and cry for peace. These munafiqeen, they used to say, there should be peace. Why to go to war? Why bloodshed? We can make da'wah. We can call people towards the way of Allah. Why to use this force? Why this fighting? There should be peace. فَلَا تَهِنُوا. But the reason was weakness, own weakness, fear of death. Don't want to risk your lives. فَلَا تَهِنُوا وَاتَّدْعُوا إِلَى السَّلْمِ وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ. We promise you, you will be the uppermost. وَاللَّهُ مَعَكُمْ. Allah is with you. وَلَنْ يَتِرَكُمْ أَعْمَالَكُمْ. And He will never deprive you of the rewards of your deeds.
إنما الحياة الدنيا لعب ولهو وإن تؤمنوا وتتقوا يؤتكم أجوركم ولا يسألكم أموالكم.
This worldly life is only amusement and diversion, and if you believe and fear Allah, He will give you your rewards and not ask you for your properties.
إِنَّمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا لَعِبٌ وَلَهْوٌ. Verily, this life of this world is a sport and a play. As I explained a few days back, if this life becomes an obstruction from the life of hereafter, and if you are lost in this life, this becomes your mahbub and matlub, then it is nothing but a play and a drama and a game. But if you believe in the hereafter, then each and every minute of this life becomes very important. As the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, innama dunya mazra'atul akhirah. This world is where you sow the seeds so that you can reap in the hereafter. So it is very important, but not if it has obstructed your vision from the hereafter. Then it is a thing of deceit. Mata'ul ghurur. Innamal hayatud dunya la'ibun wa lahu wa in tu'minu wa tattaqu. And if you believe and you have the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yu'tikum ujurakum, Allah will give you your rewards. Wala yas'alkum amwalakum, and He doesn't ask you all your belongings, all your wealth, all your riches.
إن يسألكموها فيحفكم تبخلوا ويخرج أضغانكم.
If he should ask you for them and press you, you would withhold, and he would expose your unwillingness.
إن يسألكموها فيحفكم. If he asks you all your belongings, and then he presses you, تبخلوا, then you will behave as niggardly. وَيُخْرِجُ أَضْغَانَكُمْ, and Allah will show out to the people the hidden ill intentions in your hearts.
أنتم هؤلاء تدعون لتنفقوا في سبيل الله فمنكم من يبخل ومن يبخل فإنما يبخل عن نفسه والله الغني وأنتم الفقراء وإن تتولوا يستبدل قوما غيركم ثم لا يكونوا أمثالكم.
Here you are, those invited to spend in the cause of Allah. But among you are those who withhold out of greed, and whoever withholds only withholds benefit from himself, and Allah is the free of need, while you are the needy. And if you turn away, He will replace you with another people, then they will not be the likes of you.
ها أنتم هؤلاء تدعون لتنفقوا في سبيل الله. You are those who are called and invited to expend in the way of Allah. Spend. فَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يَبْخَلْ. Some of you are those who are niggardly, they don't want to spend. وَمَنْ يَبْخَلْ فَإِنَّمَا يَبْخَلُ عَنْ نَفْسِهِ. And whosoever is niggardly against his own soul. وَاللَّهُ الْغَنِيُّ. And Allah is without any need, self-sufficient. وَأَنْتُمُ الْفُقَرَاءُ. And remember, you are in need. You have to ask Him. وَإِن تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَكُونُوا أَمْثَالَكُمْ. This was a very big threat which came out to be true after about 600 years. If you turn your backs, you, those who have come to believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, have been assigned a very big mission, very big mission, very big mission. In Surah Al-Baqarah we heard it already. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً وَسَطًا لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ وَيَكُونَ الرَّسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. This mission has been entrusted to you, just as our messenger has conveyed to you our message, and he will be able to stand on the day of judgment and testify, "Oh Allah, the message I received from you, I had conveyed to them." In the same way you have to do it for the whole of the humanity. But in tatawallaw, if you turn your backs to this mission, just as the Muslims did after the end of the pious caliphate, now Muslims started loving this world, luxuries, comforts, making big palaces for them. Abu Bakr had no palace. Muhammad had no palace. He used to live in a hujra. the smallest apartments, the size of the apartment of Hazrat Aisha, radiyallahu ta'ala anha, that when the Prophet was with her and he used to pray tahajjud, there was no sufficient space there. He used to, remove and turn the legs of Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiyallahu anha to one side, and then there was the space to make a sajda, to prostrate for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He didn't have built a palace. Neither Abu Bakr, nor Umar, nor Usman, nor Ali. Usman was one of the richest persons. But when he died, he left nothing. No inheritance whatsoever. He had a few slaves, and on the day he was martyred, the day he just set them free, you are free, go. You are not going to be inherited by any of my heirs. So that was the pious caliphate. But when we turned our back to this mission, in tatawallaw yastabdil qawman ghayrakum, then Allah will remove you and bring another nation in your place. And then they will not be like you. Historically speaking, this happened in the 13th century of Christian era, when hundreds of thousands, millions, I should say, of Muslims were slain by the Tatari hordes. And the last Abbasid Caliph was dragged out of his palace in Baghdad, and he was covered in the skin of a camel and trampled under the hoofs of the horses of the Tataris. And that was the end of the Arab leadership of the Ummah. Came to end. After some time, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the banner of Islam to the Tataris. है आया फितना तातार के अफसाने से, पासबा मिल गए काबे को सनम खाने से. There was a shift of leadership. The leadership of the Muslim Ummah was shifted from the Arabs to the Turks. Turkan-e-Taimuri in India, whom we call Mughals, they were Turkan-e-Taimuri. Turkan-e-Saljuki in the Middle East. Turkan-e-Safavi, great Safavid empire of Iran. And last of them, but not least, Turkan-e-Usmani, who established the great Ottoman Empire, the greatest empire this world has seen ever. Because number 2 will come the Roman Empire. But the Ottoman Empire was greater than the Roman Empire, spreading over 3 continents, whole of North Africa, whole of West Asia, and a very big chunk of East Europe under the Ottomans. This Bosnia and Kosovo and this and that, they are the remnants of that period. Who are they? The remnants of the Turkish rule. Anyhow, this ayah, in tatawallaw yastabdil qawman ghayrakum, this came to be true in the 13th century of Christian era.